Okay, so I've managed to grab Ian Russell here on the Avid Carp stand to talk a little bit about the Sonubaits 24/7 range. Now Ian, I am a dumbass match angler, alright? That is definitely true. When I go fishing, I lob it in and my rod just gets pulled off. There's none of this sit in a chair.
Well, I think you're being unkind.
Chill out luck, do you know what I mean? But what we've got here is an incredible range of different sized boilies, and I don't really know anything about them. So if I run them through with you, you're going to tell me a little bit about each one.
Mate, yeah.
We've got some 15mm pop-ups there, mate. Tell us a bit about them.
Standard pop-ups, you know, if you want a buoyant bait. I mean, with these, I will use these even on a zig. Anything that's up in the water from an inch off the bottom and to whoever deep the water is, really. So buoyant. You know, I know that's an obvious statement to be said, but pop-up is buoyant.
Totally floats, you know, don't have to do anything with it.
And these will stay up for, you shouldn't have to keep them standing up for days, but because hopefully you'd have had a bite. But they're that buoyant.
20 minutes for you. That's a long
15 usually.
Right,
15
fair enough,
usually,
mate, right.
No, I mean, the modern rigs, you've got two types of rigs nowadays. One with the bottom baits, one with pop-ups, and they tick all the boxes,
And 15mm, that's a standard size, would you say?
This is probably the most popular size that's out there.
Right, right.
You know, a lot of the bait rollers don't like making the smaller ones anyway, so, but no, you know, most anglers will have half a dozen different types of sort of 14, 15mm pop-ups in their armoury.
Right.
You know, just different colours.
Right. I think I got that one. I thought I might understand that one.
Yeah.
This is going to when I start getting confused. Right, look, 15mm super chods.
Right, super chods. Give us that here. Now, it's very popular nowadays to use something what they call a chod rig, which is like 4 to 5 foot of lead core or leadless lead core, like our pin down, and a tiny little hook ring on it. I know that's if I'm patronising you.
No, patronise me. Yeah, no, I don't know.
Tiny little fluorocarbon hook link with a curve in it, which is it's emulating like a 3 or 4 inch hook actually. Yeah. And that runs up and down the lead core.
Yes, I've seen that. Yeah.
The more buoyant the bait, the more effective the rig.
Okay.
So the super chods are made up, obviously more buoyant than the normal pop-ups.
Incredibly buoyant.
These are really. But what you're hoping is the pin down or the lead core you're using is helping counterbalance the bait. Yeah. And what you want is a chod is to fish on top of the chod, which is weed, crap,
rubbish.
silt, rubbish. You only want it to just gently lay on it. You know, I've fished chods on top of sort of 6 foot of weed in 8 foot of water, and you can see it all. It's just laid lovely. Yeah. So the more
that's interesting. That is because I've done a little bit of like basic carp fishing, and I would have just used the pop-up in that situation. Well, so it's obviously interesting to know. Yeah, it wouldn't be quite right, would it?
No, the more buoyant the bait with the chod rig, the better it is.
Right.
You've got a tiny little hook link. You want it up and in. And you also want it to sit so gently. And obviously, then you've got, if you're leaving it out in an area where they may visit in 5 or 6 hours, you want it to retain its buoyancy.
Yeah, you want 100% confidence that your bait's right, and that's what you're getting from the supercharge. Right, okay. That's interesting as well with the 24/7 while we've got it here, the colour. Very light in colour.
Lovely and creamy colour, isn't it? So it's very, visual aspects been brought into it as well.
Yeah, which I think, if you're from match angling, I know that is so important, the visual aspect of your bait. Right, okay, well, while we're on that then, we've got some wafters here, mixed washout wafters.
Right, this gives you, obviously, choice of colour. A lot of the more heavily stocked venues, it is all about colour. I've been on venues and you'll get bites. We'll talk about the waft a bit in a minute. Yeah. The colour is, I've been on venues and you cannot buy a bite on white. You change it. I mean, you guys are changing all the time.
Oh, all the time.
You know the importance of one little change, one little tweak can win a match. It's not too different now in carp fishing. The lakes that we generally fish are so heavily stocked with greedy fish, but a colour can make a difference. You know, as I've started to say, I've been on venues where white will not buy you a bite all day long. Change to pink, same swim, same clip on the line, and you're getting bites straight
That's amazing, because that happens in match fishing, exactly like you say. We can fish a red bait, and it can not get you a bite. You put a white bait on, you'll get one, or vice versa.
But the smaller the fish in your fishing, would you say they're more finicky? Because I don't think carp are. I
agree with that. When we fish for carp, we can fish a lot stronger lines and things like that. So yeah, you're right. They aren't.
So you wouldn't. Ironically, you wouldn't imagine that a slight change in colour would affect a very greedy fish.
So what about the wafter element, though?
Well, the wafter element is totally opposite to the pop-ups. Now I want something on the bottom. Yeah. But I want it to negate buoyancy, which aids the rig to go further back.
Just counterbalancing the hook.
Yeah, it's either softly resting on the silt or whatever it's on the debris, but also when the fish comes in, it it'll come up a bit. The fish will spot that one first, and also, I mean, there's loads of different percentages in carp fishing, as in your fishing, that make it successful. The further back you hook them, the better, obviously.
Yeah.
And with a wafter, as they come in picking up the heavy bottom baits, your freebies, this one will shoot up further, and you're unhooking them with forceps now instead of popping it out the lip.
Yeah,
so,
I get it.
It's rig mechanics more than bait.
Yeah. To get, it's going to help you with. I would have said as well, like you say, you can almost imagine when a carp comes in, it kicks everything up, and your wafter finishes up settling back down on top rather than getting covered up by any crap. So. Yeah,
you know,
I might use that this weekend.
Well, when you get 2 or 3 carp come in, if you're in a situation where you can watch them, exactly what you're saying, Lee, they don't sneak in quietly. As they come in, the water's still moving past them.
Yeah.
Everything is kicked up.
Yeah.
So, you know,
and that's the one left as well. What's with the washed out colour, just while we're in there? I've seen a lot about that.
It's in vogue. I mean, years ago, we were doing it to mimic a bait that's been in the water a long time. Now it's just everyone sells them anyway. Same sort of principle. But
it works. It works, doesn't it? You catch
now
fish
everyone's
on them,
doing it, so you'll probably go back to bright colours in a year.
Yeah, I understand that.
You've got the carp.
So then we've got some oozing pop-ups. Now, these are quite interesting. These have worked in match fishing, these as in some difficult
I've done all right on these, but I've done all right on these more so, and I couldn't tell you why, on the zig situation. These, obviously, from oozing, the bait's there, and you've got a flow of colour coming out of the bait and flavour and attractor. But I've done really well on these with zigs, rather than, you know, when you've got a better bait, you've got a pop up in the middle of it, you've got loads of attraction coming off it. This is, I fish these in isolation, in my fishing, not
No.
And you can imagine now a bait sitting 6 foot off the bottom in 12 foot of water, and you're then covering the 6 to 12 foot bit as well.
Because you've got this tail,
it's attraction. It's, you know, just one single bait is doing what a better bait.
So what would you say that's better in, say, clearer water when you're fishing for like 1 or 2 bites?
I mean, the oozing bit is an attraction as well. So in coloured water, it will still be giving off flavour and smell and attraction. But in clear water, obviously it's something they're going to spot from a way off.
Yeah, so something to try as well. I mean, it's worth having a pot with you because, again, just like switching the other one, you could make the switch and it could be all the difference.
Well, you know, carp fishing on most of the venues now that are so prolific isn't too different to what you're doing. If you keep bringing the changes, the results will come.
Yeah.
So you've got to have a little bit of everything.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting. Because it's the same in match fishing. If you bring the changes, you definitely do get results. Well, right, we've also got. Well, we've got the mixed washout pop-ups in different colours, so the same as the pop-ups, but obviously a colour choice there, so I understand that. And somebody's put some golf balls in this one, mate. It's like 18...
Give us it here. Right, the only... I mean, it's a pop-up size that isn't used a lot, but if you're on a venue full of fish that you want to catch, and I don't, i.e. bream, tench, rudd, then it's worth sticking a bit of a gobstopper on, because the only thing that's going to get that is a carp.
Well, it's interesting, because I've done a little bit of canal carp fishing, and I've been using like 12s and 15s, thinking to myself, I'll never catch a bream. And I can't believe how many bream I catch, but I didn't even know an 18. Mate. So when you think about it, if a bream with a smallmouth will have a 15, there's no reason why a great big carp wouldn't have a big bait.
You know, like I've used boilies in up to 30 mil for carp, not pop-ups to be fair. They've got huge mouths, and they'll bump, it's a greed factor again.
Again, so it's visual as well, and it's a big thing, isn't it?
You know, I totally agree that small baits will get you more bites on most days because it's what their food items are related to. But if you've got nuisance fish in our world, which isn't in yours, an 18 mil pop-up would generally eradicate any bream and tench. And plus the rig then looks a bit bulky and that, so
I understand.
Really only you know, if you're going to get a bite, it's usually a carp.
Well, I know you've been bagging up on the 24/7 range for about 3 years.
I love it.
So, well, the only problem is, mate, now everybody can have it.
Well, we've got to start looking at the next one.
All right. Well, look, 24/7's out now. There's some great boilies in the range. There's some great feed boilies as well. Thanks, Ian, for running me through there.
Welcome, mate.
Now I know what I'm doing. Even I might catch a carp or two.
Not about that too much.
Brilliant. Cheers.